right, good morning to you, Grenada, Carrier, Coupé, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, the rest of the world. Welcome to this segment of Good Morning Grenada for yet another wonderful day. It's Wednesday, the 15th day of March in the year 2023. Of course, you know the name by now, Gordon Joseph. Some folks call me the innocent one, and there are those who would say he's not so innocent. But nonetheless, it's indeed a pleasure to be in your company once again, an opportunity for which I am eternally thankful and grateful. It's 27 minutes on to the hour of 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock workers, I urge you to ensure that you impress your boss by being on time today. Yeah. Be productive. And always remember to think positive, happy thoughts. And let your prayer be hinder me not. I love this. I honestly think I'm going to write a song on this. Hinder me not, yeah? Wonder what the topic will be tonight at, that midweek service at the Wester Hall New Testament Church of God. Good morning to the folks inside of Wester Hall in St. David. This is an opportunity for you to, an invitation is extended to you to join us tonight, yeah, at the church, man, and fellowship. Yeah, you'll feel different, you'll feel good, you'll feel better, you'll feel empowered, you'll feel strong. Nice. Let's see what's happening this morning. All right, before we go further, folks who usually listen and view us on the GBN YouTube channel, well, that channel is actually experiencing some problems, so we've got an alternative one for you. It is GBN Production. So those of you who are so inclined, please join us on GBN Production, that YouTube channel, for the presentation this morning. All right, good. We'll inform you when the original YouTube channel is back up and running. So let's get into the program for today. I want to say a good morning to you once again, and it's time for the word of the day. And the word of the day today is nadir. Yeah, Nadir. It is a noun, and it refers to the lowest or worst point of something. Now, when used in astronomy, nadir describes the point of the celestial sphere that is directly opposite the zenith and vertically downward from the observer. This is a mouthful there. All right, so remember, Nadir, nadir, and it can be used this way. Only once the novel's protagonist reaches the nadir does she arouse the reader's empathy, and we root for her to climb back to respectability. All right. Let's now look at the thought of the day. Don't forget to write this word down. Learn to spell it, learn to pronounce it, all right? Okay, learn to pronounce it. Okay, good morning to you, Oswald Pele Dabo. How are you doing this morning, you and the entire home circle? I do hope that all is well with you all. All right, Catherine Phillip, good morning. And good morning to you also, Mary Ebanks. Good, nice. Petlin, good morning to you also. Good. Right, so let's get to the thought of the day. The thought of the day today is passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. All right? Passion is energy, that burning desire to do it. All right? It gives you the energy, the fuel to do what you do. So feel that power that comes from focusing on what excites you. What excites you today? Remember to let your thought be positive ones, okay? Good morning to Nadisha out there in Croshu, St. Andrew. Yeah, Croshu is actually in St. Andrew. There are some folks that say Croshu, St. David. Well, no, the Lambert Bridge is that boundary, right? Good morning, Crochet. Good morning to McQueen and the folks at McQueen's service station. Yeah, good morning, good morning, good morning. The 3Ds bar, 3Js rather. Yeah, good morning to you guys. How you doing? Doing morning to you and the family. Hope all is well, okay? Want to say good morning to all the wonderful folks out there in Mount Agnes as well. All right, good morning to you. All the folks in Mount Agnes area. Lennox, good morning to you. How the peppers going? The tomatoes looking nice, boy. Wow. Yeah, you're not marketing board again, you know, so what you going to do with all that tomatoes, eh? The folks inside of Latant and the Pomerose, good morning to you also. Malmont. Yeah, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. The Canal. Operator, good morning. How are we doing this morning? Let's quickly look at some of the buzzing headlines, and we've got revamped safety systems. Now, the next time you need to clear a barrel or transact any business at the port, you may find that that more will be required of you. All right. Hopefully, we'll have an opportunity to hear what these added protocols are. Okay, opposition leader Dr. Keith Mitchell had a hypocritical light of sorts shown on his face yesterday. The beam was cast by Prime Minister the Honorable Dickon Mitchell as the House of Representatives met to begin debate on the proposed Data Protection Act. Had a nice debate yesterday. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my learned friend for the representative for the town of St. George. Politicians are, a really interesting group of people, They oppose each other so seriously and critically, but then they laugh in the process. And sometimes the supporters and followers get caught. They get caught and hold animosity to people of opposing views and proclivity. People who support a different party, they hold grudges, and the politicians are laughing and talking with each other. Good morning, the Honorable Peter David. Good morning, good morning. How are you doing? Hope all is well. All right, also buzzing this morning, Grenada responds to St. Lucian gang violence. You remember many years ago, Grenada faced what appeared to be an uncontrollable upsurge in gang violence. Now, the island is being asked to assist St. Lucia. Grenada now heads up the regional security system, which has promised to send troops in this week. So that's another buzzing story. Also buzzing, the Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell has recommended medical checks for individuals who were involved in a vehicular accident yesterday morning. Yeah, so I got the information with the PM's vehicle, his car, and involved in an accident. So I hope all is well with the PM. We don't want nothing to happen to you there now, Papi. All right? You have plans and things to execute, so, be safe, all right? Nice. Okay, precedent-setting COVID case. Now, workers in Grenada who felt disenfranchised at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic could do well to pay attention to a new development in neighboring St. Vincent and the Grenadines. What is that? What really happening up there? What is Dr. Ralph Gonzalez and the guys up there doing? Another very interesting story. Grenada's Attorney General and Minister for Legal Affairs, Labor and Consumer Affairs, Senator the Honorable Claudette Joseph, has mandated the Wage Advisory Committee under the chairmanship of Dr. Curlin Gilchrist to commence a series of consultations with major stakeholders with a view to revising Grenada's minimum wage as well as broaden the scope of the minimum wage order. The Wage Advisory Committee was reconstituted on September 1st, 2022 for a period of 3 years and was set up to address the minimum wage in Grenada, which was not reviewed over the past 11 years. The review of the minimum wage is one of government's priorities and is aligned to the National Sustainable Development Goal number 2, which is vibrant, dynamic, competitive economy with supporting climate and disaster resilient infrastructure and sustainable development goals 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 10. Okay, so that's also buzzing this morning. So these are basically the story buzzing. Which are the ones we want? We want to look at the debate yesterday. All right, we'll look at that. I'd want to hear your thoughts on it. We heard constitutional law guru Dr. Francis Alexis. He threw in his 2 pence in that. So we'll look at what are your thoughts on that, the Data Protection Act, which was debated in Parliament yesterday. Okay, we'll look at the Prime Minister's, small accident, minor accident, and yeah, these are the two buzzing, the real buzzing story. And also we'll have a peek and hear what is your take on the advisory committee on the minimum wage issue. So these are the stories that are buzzing this morning. So remember the word of the day, nadir, and it refers to the lowest or worst point of something. When used in astronomy, nadir describes the point of the celestial sphere that is directly opposite the zenith and vertically downward from the observer. The word of the day, the thought of the day rather, is passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. We've got to take that break now because it's time for us to head to the AM edition of News, Sports and the Weather here on K105. Those of you who are on the television platform, we've got a rebroadcast of last evening's television news. Shauna Coffey says, good morning, and a great word. Yeah, that's a nice word. Thanks. Jocelyn Langdon says, good morning. Okay, good. Nice. So, folks, we take that break. We come back with the news and then the conversation on the flip side of 7. Don't you go anywhere. Stick and stay with us. We're with you anywhere and everywhere.
When you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me, whenever you're in need. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever your road leads, we'll be right there with you. Wherever your road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next side, next side, next side. Next to you.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Thanks for joining us. Opposition leader Dr. Keith Mitchell had a hypocritical light of sorts shown in his face today. The beam was cast by Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell as the House of Representatives met to begin debate on the proposed data protection bill. It was not dead on arrival in the House, but continued to generate heat as the opposition lobbies for a pause until it's ventilated in the public domain.
Did you have the fear and concern about our citizens' rights when you sat in cabinet in March of 2022 and approved this bill? No.
Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell as he questioned the opposition's concerns for the people when the data protection bill was approved by the former administration in 2022.
When we passionately claim that we are concerned about legislation that we ourselves approved, that we initiated, this was dormant.
His response came after opposition leader Dr. Keith Mitchell expressed disagreement of the data protection bill in its present construct and called for members of the House to agree to suspend the bill until further consultations are held.
Clearly, there are aspects of this bill that we should be discussing, pros and cons. But my intervention and seeking the support of the government is for us not to proceed with this bill at this time so that wide consultation can be held.
Member of Parliament for the town of St. George, Peter David, told the House of Representatives that there's a sense of atmosphere over the bill.
And we support the data protection legislation. Anytime legislation is being passed where, as they say it in the US, Big Brother is being given more powers to invade what people believe is privacy, people become extremely concerned. So we are not just making this thing up. It is a fear out there. In fact, I see people talking about how could they just come and search you. Now, I'm not suggesting that I support the concern, but these concerns must be allayed.
Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell accused the opposition of going to Parliament to argue legislation which they themselves drafted and approved.
Why are we coming here? To give the impression that this government wants to push legislation down the throat of the citizens of Grenada when you are the ones who initiated, reviewed, drafted, and approved the legislation.
The Prime Minister told the House of Representatives the bill does not have to go as is and is subject to be amended at any time if the need arises. The Data Protection Bill seeks to promote the protection of personal data processed by public and private bodies. Reporting for GBN News, Beverly Telesford.
Meanwhile, the Public Workers Union has joined the chorus of voices calling for restraint. Public Relations Officer Daisy Hazard thinks there should be no mad rush to get the bill through the Houses of Parliament. Hazard says while its integrity and purpose cannot be disputed, the call for public discourse is not an unreasonable one.
There must be wide-based consultation with persons who it seeks to protect. There must be consultation with the Bar Association of Grenada. Our doctors, our lawyers, our banks should also be able to look at it so that they can give their feedback. A bill cannot be and should not be passed in secret necessarily, neither should it be rushed through the process. And if it's meant to protect us, if it's meant for our own good, there is no reason for us not to be able to see, to scrutinize it, to have discourse on it, to debate it, and to give our feedback to our legislators.
In recent times, there has been concern that some public officers could be the source of a leak of confidential government documents. Hazard did not speak on this issue. However, she says all stakeholders will be impacted by the proposed legislation, and as such, there should be no harm in allowing for varied ventilation.
Because as citizens of our country, we have inalienable human rights. We have to be protected. We have responsibilities, and the Constitution speaks to that, but we also have a body of inalienable human rights. That is not to say that a person can do and must do anything that contravenes another person's right or the rights of the state, but we have to be protected, and we have to be protected from the excesses of politicians, where in their term of office, they may seek to give unto themselves or accrue unto their offices rights that they do not have the right to. And I know I've used the word right.
Other news: workers in Grenada who felt disenfranchised at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic could do well to pay attention to a new development in neighboring St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You see, the court in SVG has ruled that the Ralph Gonsalves administration acted illegally when it terminated some workers' employment. Scores of public servants, police officers, and other employees lost their jobs because they refused to take the COVID-19 vaccine. GBN's Nisha Peters is following that story.
Grenada's Public Workers Union welcomes the decision handed down by High Court Judge Justice Esco Henry, who had found that the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines' COVID-19 vaccination mandate and subsequent terminations were unconstitutional and void. Similarly, here in Grenada, St. George's University and hotel industry workers, among others, were affected by a similar decision. Workers were mandated to vaccinate during the COVID-19 crisis, however refused to do so, resulting in them being laid off. Daisy Hazard, Public Relations Officer of the Public Workers Union, is pleased with the court ruling for the workers of St. Vincent.
So having read that judgment just once myself, I've not really had the time to study it. I've not had the time to speak with any legal mind on it. But as I said before, the ruling, the decision of the judge and how he lays out his argument is very clear that a worker whom the employer decides they have a matter with or against must be given a hearing. Throughout the ruling, it says these workers were not given a hearing. The process of natural justice was not allowed to follow. There was a breach of natural justice. The measures and the rules are unlawful. It's unconstitutional.
Hazard believes that workers here in Grenada were not given a fair hearing and that the process of natural justice was not followed.
As to how this would affect workers in Grenada, I cannot speak specifically to workers who were affected. We know that there were workers at SU, there were workers among the hotel chains, workers who were in the hospitality industry and other areas who were definitely affected. Some persons left their jobs without making any kind of a motion whatsoever, whether it was with trade unions or legally, to have representation and to have their matter heard. But we also know that a lot of workers would have taken their matter to their unions. The Tower, for instance, we know, and other unions have been since 2021, during the heightened period of COVID, have been persevering with workers who have been affected and who were forced or attempts were made to force them to take the COVID-19 vaccine mandatorily. And some workers refused to.
The PW Public Relations Officer went on to say that the manner in which the workers were treated was unconstitutional.
And so not only be told and instruct us all about an unfair passed or attempted to be passed by a minister during the period of COVID speaks to how matters are handled with workers when the employer decides that this employee has performed or acted in a manner that we are not satisfied with. It is not supposed to be arbitrary. It is not supposed to be improper. It's supposed to follow the rules as is laid out in the rules and regulations that governs officers.
The High Court ruling for workers in the neighboring island states they will have to be reinstated and paid. However, the government plans to appeal the matter. Nisha Peters, GBN News.
Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell has recommended medical checks for individuals who were involved in a vehicle accident this morning. A state car was transporting the Prime Minister to a parliamentary sitting when it collided with another vehicle. The Prime Minister escaped unhurt. We get the rest of the details from Rena Thomas.
Despite being involved in a vehicular accident on Tuesday morning, the leader of government and Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell attended the Tuesday scheduled sitting of the House of Representatives in full capacity. En route to the Houses of Parliament, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell's car was involved in a motor accident which collided with a black vehicle on the Springs Main Road. An official press release from the Government Information Service stated that the Prime Minister is unharmed and all involved in the incident escaped with minor injuries. It went along to say that Prime Minister Mitchell did raise concern for his drivers, noting that not all injuries produce immediate pain. The Office of the Prime Minister has ensured that all parties involved received a medical exam following the incident to rule out the risk of potential complications. High-ranking officers of the RGPF has been clamoring for due care on the nation's road since the year 2022 as the Traffic Department recorded a frequent number of incidents on island. It was just last week Grenada recorded yet another road fatality, bringing the numbers up to over 4 for the year 2023. For GBN News, I am Rena Thomas reporting.
We're back. There was a scary moment over Grenadian skies on Monday. A cargo plane experienced difficulty while in Grenadian airspace. The Amerijet flight M68115 freighter craft declared a precautionary emergency when a redundant hydraulic system failed on approach. The company reported that despite the challenge, the aircraft landed safely. There was no report of any injury during what some described as a nerve-wracking moment. GBN secured footage of the flight after it landed. Take a look. disturbing video has sent social media followers into a tizzy and landed teenagers in trouble. The video highlights two students engaging in a sexual act during a sporting event at the National Stadium on the weekend. GBN understands that school administrators and parents have been working feverishly to get a handle on the situation. The circulation of the video comes at a time when concern is being expressed about the need for parents to actively engage their teens in conversations about responsible behavior.
Experts point out that creating awareness about sexuality is no easy conversation for some parents to have with their children. But with exposure to explicit content on the internet and the surge of false information on the topic, it is important that parents get involved. General medical practitioner Francis Martin says it's important to note that teenagers contact sexually transmitted disease, and as such, the subject should not be avoided.
Almost every week I would get to see my practice some sort of herpes simplex virus. I am seeing a rise in syphilis among young people, herpes, as I said before, and then HTLV, which is like the cousin of HIV, human T-cell lymphocytic virus. All these viruses are what our young kids are exposing themselves to as teenagers, and these again have significant implications in the young adult and adult life. Girls have to be aware that if you have sex, a few things can happen. You can get pregnant, but more importantly, even if you don't get pregnant, it's a chance when children or teenagers transmit very dangerous diseases that they're unaware of. For example, most of the girls or boys who end up having HPV, human papillomavirus, that leads to cervical cancers and cancer of the penis, most of them transmitted this virus while they were teenagers. Some of them don't even know it exists. They don't know how to test for it, and that is the part that bothers most of all. Secondly, boys and girls or teenagers can transmit gonorrhea and chlamydia, which are sexually transmitted infections. The data is very clear that these types of infection has impact on fertility later on. So that boy and that girl who is having sex as teenagers, in other words, can be setting themselves up for infertility when the time really needs. So these are.
Dr. Martin further went on to explain that in order for parents to speak with their children, they must first evaluate the relationship they have to ensure that the children feel comfortable to speak freely.
What can happen? And in some instances, you also have to be fair and open and say to them there is a safe way to have sex. Don't be afraid to say that, because abstinence is the best, but abstinence doesn't exist. The 95% of children, abstinence doesn't work for them. So show them how to use a condom properly and give them the ins and outs of how to use these different things to protect themselves. And we just have to be open and honest as possible. Also, that mother can seek the help of other people. You can take your child, a teenage girl or boy, to a doctor and have the doctor help her with that conversation.
The professional help of doctors can also be used to address the topic. He feels that the boys are often left out of the conversation.
If you ask a lot of girls, what was the single most important thing that made you know that you are now a young woman? And 100% will be able to tell you, it was when I saw my period. Now, boys have that thing too, but what is the sign that makes a boy know he has changed? A lot of boys don't know. We only recognize that sometimes boys monitor your breasts. At some stage, you're going to find that there is a lump or a seed that is very tender in your breast. You may be bathing and wiping yourself with your bath towel and realize that seed is there. When that seed disappears, the boy is now able to make sperm, and that boy can now impregnate a girl. So those are very critical things you need to let our boys know to help them to understand and navigate that very difficult situation that they're going through during teenage years.
Dr. Martin encourages parents to continue to educate their children on sex and its reality, as it is already sold in music, movies, and other common public platforms. For GBN News, I'm Rena P. Thomas reporting.
Well, based on the Electronic Crimes Bill, it is illegal for the capturing and sharing of various kinds of material without the consent of the individuals featured. The weekend episode represents a case of double jeopardy since it highlights two teenagers. We reached out to the Raw Grenada Police Force today for a comment on how this matter has been handled An official has promised to revert to the GBN on Wednesday. We also reached out to the Child Protection Authority for a comment. Public Relations Officer Blossom Alexis Welch says these developments highlight the need for greater protection of young people.
The Child Protection Authority takes this opportunity to remind members of the public that it is against the law to circulate sexually explicit videos involving minors, which is anyone under the age of 18, with or without their consent. This is also an opportunity for us to remind parents and guardians of the importance of talking with your children. Let them know what you expect of them when they attend activities. We are getting back into more social events. The sporting season is at its peak, and your children, especially your teenagers, may be attending with their friends and not with you as their parent. So take this chance to speak with them and let them know the activities they should be participating in and the activities that they should not be participating in. Organizers, promoters, you have a responsibility to keep your patrons safe, and that includes children. So have security, maybe even volunteers, police, and man areas that may be secluded from the rest of the main activities. The youngsters may see this as an opportunity to participate in events that they should not be, whether it be sexually explicit activities or other activities including drugs and alcohol. Ensure that you have manpower there to keep the children where they should be and not participating in activities that they should not be participating in.
Many years ago, Grenada faced what appeared to be an uncontrollable upsurge in gang violence. Now the island is being asked to assist St. Lucia. Grenada now heads up the regional security system, which has promised to send troops in this week. Let's get the details from Nisha Peters.
Over the weekend, the St. Lucia government announced the closure of schools in the southern town of Vieux Fort after 3 people were shot and killed and a 9-year-old boy injured as a result of gun violence. The Ministry of Education in a statement cited the current unstable environment in Vieux Fort in announcing the closure of 5 schools in the area. It said that the decision to close down the schools followed discussions with the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. The situation has spiraled out of control and left Prime Minister Philip Pierre with no choice but to approach his fellow CARICOM to provide support for the Royal Police Force of St. Lucia. Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell is now chairman of the Regional Security System, RSS. The RSS has responded favorably to the appeal, and a team is expected to arrive there in the coming days. During a recent interview, Prime Minister Mitchell expressed concern about the rising level of violence in several Caribbean islands.
Most persons are coming out of school, your parents are telling you it's time to start fending for yourselves. You don't have the skill set to get you into the job market where you work for any significant sums of money. You are probably not inheriting any assets from your parents that would allow you to jumpstart. And so you find poverty impacts significantly on the youth population. And with that poverty comes obviously sometimes a sense of desperation. You then have to deal with issues like drugs, alcohol, the risk for crime, and deviant social behavior. Bringing it to a lesser extent, perhaps the least extent, but many of our countries, even within the OCS and certainly in the Caribbean, are struggling with the level of gun violence in our communities, and that's a major challenge.
Grenada's Commissioner of Police, Edwin Martin, believes proactive policing could help curb the problem.
One of the efforts we have to make is to see how we can build community resilience in identifying what role can the community play in addressing this particular issue. I believe in addressing this particular problem, our approach seems to be on enforcement, which is after the crime or the problem has been created. There is too little or probably nothing at all on prevention. We need to probably have budget lines, in my mind, targeting prevention. How do we prevent this problem from occurring in the first place, rather than responding to it after it has occurred?
Several years ago, Grenada faced a similar situation with a bloody spate of gang violence. The Ginger Crew, the Blood and Crips were among those wreaking havoc in several villages until the intervention of well-known Pentecostal minister Bishop Dave King. As the ugly problem rears its head in St. Lucia, Grenada's Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell says the Caribbean region is proudly a zone of peace, a designation that cannot be taken for granted, especially given current global tensions. Prime Minister Mitchell added that small and often close-knit communities have no place for this level of violence, which threatens the lives and livelihoods and places the tourism-dependent economies at risk. Isha Peters, GBN News.
It's an exhaustive refrain, but none seemed bothered. Despite multiple pleas for a pause and complete halt, indiscriminate dumping continues unabated. Take a peek at the latest submission made through the GBN ISOP portal.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISOP is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Less than a week ago, our citizen journalist submitted some photographs to draw attention to dumping being done in the area known as Swayze in St. Patrick. This week, there is a significant increase in the volume of debris being discarded in the area, including new waste materials such as heaps of bamboo. Our ISO reporter said the issue has been brought up by the people in the area on multiple occasions. However, they claim nothing has been done. Voice your concerns through photo or video when you send your ISO submissions via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
For only the second time in history, the Spice Boys will battle the United States of America on home soil. On home soil. Grenada plays the USA in League A of the CONCACAF Nations League on Friday, March 24, 2023 at the Grenada James Athletic Stadium. Kickoff time 8 p.m. Get your tickets now. $75 EC for the lower main stand, $50 EC for the upper main stand, $40 EC for the secondary stand, and $25 EC for the bleachers. Tickets available now online at godofed.com. Grenadian Optical in Grandad, Shirky's Bar opposite the bus terminal, Nixon Bites School, Shire's Bar Victoria, Calico's Sates, Maxie's Bar Grenville, and St. David Pharmacy. Grenada versus the USA.
Pulisic on the run. Pulisic has
Friday, March 24th, 2023 at 8 p.m. Be part of history.
Grenada James blazed the tracks at the National Stadium. Anderson Peters dominated at the same venue. Both were elite athletes before moving on to the international circuit. Grenada, the pursuit of glory has returned as secondary schools are back on the track and in the field. And GBN is here to shine the spotlight on our emerging stars. Join us for the live broadcast of the annual Intercall Games on GBN television. Coverage begins 9 a.m. on March 28th. 3 days, 74 events, 23 schools, 2 champions to be crowned. Republic Bank Inter-Secondary Schools Athletics Championship, March 28th, 29th, and the 30th at the Grenada James Athletic Stadium. GBN, with you, everywhere and anywhere.
Made possible by Guardian General Insurance, Rubis, get going, Dasani Water and Power Aid, and the National Lotteries Authority.
Boyo, they gonna fly with kite now. The wind picking up. I'm coming.
Karim, what you doing?
Fly my kite.
Yeah, but not here. You can't fly kite near power lines, boy.
Why not? The wind good?
Because mommy say kite threads conduct electricity.
Yeah, kite. It's right. If your kite gets stuck in power lines, it can cause power outages, or even worse, it can get shocked.
Come, let's go and fly them in the pasture.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Renlink, energizing our Grenada.
Last week on Our Climate Reality.
If we, for example, speak of in the field of health, the heat that has been expanding since the heating up of the environment. Well, women are responsible for taking care of children and of elderly and sick children, even themselves. And that hot air, especially on houses where there are no air conditioning and so on, it makes it more difficult for women to function and fulfill their duties all day long.
To bring understanding of the issues that at the policy level that we build kind of awareness and the work that is being done within schools. So the Ministry of Education, has launched what they call a sensitivity kind of a program, so that right across the school system, there's awareness of the issues.
Join us this Wednesday on GBN TV, K105 FM, and GBN's Facebook page and YouTube channel at 8:30 p.m. on Our Climate Reality, as Mr. Terrence Smith, Dr. Everson Peters, and Dr. Adrian Cashman discuss water and climate change. Our Climate Reality, made possible by Republic Bank, Hubbard's, and Classic Lighting.
All right, good morning once again, and welcome back, welcome one, welcome all to this segment of the conversation this morning. And it's 15 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. Once again, those of you who follow us via our YouTube channel, reminding you that the GBN YouTube is down, so we are subsequently using the GBN production channel, all right? So please be guided accordingly. I just want to say good morning to you, Yvonne Courtney. She says good morning. Hi, good morning. Veronica Sandy says good morning, Gordon Innocent Joseph. Good morning, GBN Grenada. Pleasant day to everyone. And of course, Yulin Alexander. Good morning, Gordon. Good morning, Grenada. Carrico Pidi Matnik. Blessings to all. Have a wonderful and safe day, everyone, all the way from New York. Well, thank you, Yulin. Have yourself a wonderful day. Likewise, want to say good morning to you, Nadisha, out there in Crowshoe, St. Andrew. Always with us. All right, so the word of the day, just a quick recap, nadir, and it refers to the lowest or worst point of something. Now, when used in astronomy, nadir describes the point of the celestial sphere that is directly opposite the zenith and vertically downward from the observer. The thought for the day: passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. It's been a while since we had a lengthy conversation, and this morning I want us to have one as much as we can. And of course, what is being talked about most now is the Data Protection Act, the debate that took place yesterday at the House of Representatives. The opposition leader, the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, had a hypocritical light of sorts shown on his face yesterday, and that beam was cast by Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell as the House of Representatives met to debate on the proposed Data Protection Act. Another buzzing story, as Grenada and other regional bodies or countries send security assistance to St. Lucia to deal with the surge in gang violence there. We also see that the Prime Minister, Deacon Mitchell, was involved in his vehicle, was involved in a minor accident yesterday, and the Prime Minister has recommended medical checks for those who were involved in the accident. Okay, so give me a call, 435-2041. That's the number. And tell me what are your thoughts based on what you've seen and heard in that debate that occurred yesterday in the House of Representatives. Or, well, you can talk on any of the topics, right? Also, the fact that you can be required to do more, to come up with more as it relates to, doing business at the national port, the Port St. George. All right, that's another issue. So, yeah, you can call me 435-2041 and let's have a conversation on any of these topics. All right, we also see that the Attorney General, Senator the Honorable Claudette Joseph, mandating the Wage Advisory Committee, which is under the chairmanship of Dr. Curlin Gilchrist, to commence a series of consultations with major stakeholders with a view to revising Grenada's minimum wage as well as to broaden the scope of the minimum wage order. Okay, we see that for the last 11 years, nothing was, the minimum wage was not addressed. Okay, so that committee was commissioned in September, the 1st of September 2022. We have a caller on the line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Welcome to the program.
Yes, thank you very much. When it was the Constitution Bill, they said that they didn't have enough time to look at it.
Who is they?
Well,
who is they?
Why didn't they give people time now to look at this bill?
Who is they? Who is they that did not?
Who's the NDC? Is the NDC.
Okay.
Right. Not because it's a new set of what come now, but it's the same NDC. And they make everybody vote no. Why didn't they give people enough time now to examine that bill? I feel these people moving as if they're in a revolution. They didn't get it by the bullets. They got it by the ballots, but they're acting like if they're in a revolution. They're only telling people what they want to tell people, saying what they want to say, and have everybody like if they're little children. But this ruling of government is not child's play. They're not doing nothing. They're walking up and down and say they're doing consultation just to make people believe they're doing something. Why they didn't consult people when they were taking the $2,000 for themselves? And a lot of foolishness is going on. And I'm not hearing those people who used to be talking all the time on the radio station. They must come out now. Those righteous ones, those holy ones, those good ones. Those who believe in all what is good. Good morning.
Okay, thank you. Have a good one, caller. 21 minutes after 7 o'clock. 435-2041. Call me. Give me a 2 pence. I would love to hear from you. All right. Want to say good morning to the folks at the A&R Eatery out there in Pedmota. Yeah, Mr. James Lewis and Country Cole. Good morning to you all also. Always locked on. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Innocent.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Your volume is high.
Mm-hmm.
You could turn it down on your device at home.
Innocent, nothing is further from the truth.
Okay.
For 13 years, we had a bill.
See that?
There. For 13 years, that bill has been there. And as the government decides to go ahead with it, it is a problem. The problem is who did the bill in the first place, not the government that did the bill. So Grenadians need to sit down and take a good look and listen carefully before they jump the gun.
Okay. Thank you, caller. 22 minutes after 7 o'clock, that's the time. 435-2041, call me. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, morning, Innocent.
How are you doing?
I've been busy for the last couple of days. I'm attending a workshop, so I've not been able to listen to the debate as I normally would do. But based on some of the things that has been that being released on your station in terms of the news and even what you talk about the trending, there's some pattern. For instance, some people never want to take responsibility for their doing. It is not uncommon for the OECS authority to circulate, whether it's dealing with domestic violence or something like that, legislation on, issue for, even when we had the sunset legislation around the cricket and so we had this kind of thing. So the excuse that the opposition leader is making or kind of case he's building doesn't hold water. Because as the last caller said, this thing was around 13 years. The same thing happened with the VAT, you know. This guy had to implement the VAT, and he refused to do it because it was a requirement from the World Trade Organization, and the government, when it came in 2008, were forced to do that. And of course, they got blamed for that. So, I mean, we have to be honest. And one of the problems in this country is that we are radically dishonest. I mean, so it's a good basis for debate. I mean, we have to ensure that, I mean, our people are not disenfranchised, regardless of which administration. But it must not be made to look as if one regime like this one day is trying to hoodwink people when this thing was in the making for a long time.
Okay, let me ask you this.
When they came with the blue economy thing and some of us shut it down, what he did was to go to the OECS and let them do as if that time he was the head of the OECS, as if it's the OECS that was doing the stuff. I mean, this man might become one day, so go home and sleep.
Okay, caller.
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you this though, just for conversation's sake. Are you satisfied with the level of consultation that was done as it relates to that bill?
But maybe not. But I mean, the thing about it was there 13 years. Why did the other guy didn't make effort? But I know why he didn't. Okay. So if it's a requirement, and more you have that going on in the European Union, everybody doing the data protection stuff. What we have to ensure is that no individual is compromised or well, the word is not coming, but is made less able to function because any kind of law, any law, not just this law, but the way they don't have anything else to do. The way they spend all the time making people poor in this country. There was an accusation that said about the government make the constitutional phase. It wasn't them, it was the people. The people that failed. I was one of those people. I didn't have no attachment to any government, to any party, but I was one of those and others who say that the intent of their constitutional thing was suspect.
Okay.
Let's go and come again. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, caller. It's 26 minutes after 7 o'clock. Give me a call, 435-2041. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that debate from yesterday as it relates to the Data Protection Act. What are your thoughts on it? But that's not the only story buzzing this morning. We have other stories buzzing. So you can talk on either of them, any of them, as a matter of fact. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning, Innocent.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Innocent, I don't really want to debate the bill. The bill was debated yesterday. What I think is supposed to happen, people are saying that there was not enough consultation. But does the ordinary man know what the bill is? So let those who know say what the bill is and explain what is wrong about the bill, how we are going to be disenfranchised by the passing of that bill. So we understand. We're arguing about whether the consultation was done. But yet, we, the ordinary man, don't know what the bill is. You see, that is where the education starts. I don't really want to talk about that, but what I really want to say, something that gets me, you say, about the trending topics. Is this garbage thing up in that way? Innocent, what we're doing, we're creating dump sites. Those things, we know they're wrong. It's not pins that are dropped there, Innocent. So, this is wrong. We're talking about climate change. So ensure that whoever does that, you tell me they wouldn't know. People know who doing that.
Well, let me ask you this:
that the authorities know who doing that. Just should be informed about doing that. Set up people to get people who doing that, and so it could be stopped. Okay. If it is not stopped, people feel they can continue to it.
Well,
and that is what is happening in this country, innocent.
Let me ask you this. Just like the Data Protection Act, I am unaware as to what's happening in Bathway. What's happening? What's about this dumping you're talking about?
Yeah, there was an item last week, I think they said, where dumping was reported in Bathway. This week, last night, GBN showed on GBN I saw more dumping in the same area. I mean, explain that to me. Okay. So the authorities know that something is going on wrong there. Set up, we have security to stop it.
Yeah.
This is why things continue, wrong things continue to happen. It happens and the people get in our way. So everybody feel they could do more. Have a good day.
You too, man. Have a good one yourself. Yeah, that is something that we've got to nip in the bud. All right. Good morning to the folks of the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority. My good friend Myrna Julian, good morning to you and your team there. This is cause for concern. I'd like for you to take a closer look at this. You know, yeah, it's imperative that we do that. Dumping is illegal, but especially Bathway, nah, can't happen. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Gordon. How are you, sir?
I am alive and thankful. How are you?
Pretty good, man. The only thing is, sometimes on a morning, I just steal 2 minutes to kind of interact with you a little bit.
Well, I appreciate that.
Because you have been doing a fairly good job. It's very interesting. So keep it up and good luck. Anyway, yesterday's parliamentary debate. First, let me congratulate Mr. Deacon Mitchell for his leadership. Now, it may not be perfect, but the proceeding yesterday, the procedure, the stance that he took, the leadership style that he took yesterday is different, completely different for the past 15, 20 years. So you must congratulate him. Secondly, Mr. Gordon, why is it that you have to be disciplining or flogging or straightening people on a continuous basis? And here I'm talking about adults who are supposed to have a corporate responsibility. In that matter in question yesterday, 12 years is resting there. Mind you, it is a CARICOM region, as they say, as the leader of the opposition says. That's where it's coming from. Why is it that you have to muzzle the people in the CARICOM region? And in particular, give them an opportunity to tailor that suit of clothes to fit them. It brings out the taste, the habit, the integrity, the power, and the diligence and the corporate responsibility of those individuals in the particular territory. Let me tell you something. It pains me to see the behavior of people that has a corporate responsibility. And in that responsibility, decision and action impact the lives of thousands of others. Why is it we have to have a Data Protection Act? Mr. Gordon, we must ask ourselves deep and internal question. I find as what I would call educated people in inverted commas.
Right.
Our behavior is tantamount to treason. Thank you.
Okay, have a good day, man. And we're big and we have sense. I like that slogan so much. Folks, it's 28 minutes on to 8 o'clock. We take a commercial break. We'll be back after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
Health, are you ready? Good. At the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, we have prioritized as well as branded the year 2023 as the year of mental health and wellness. So we are extremely excited about it. Staff is excited about it. So thank you very much. Let's rock. Shift the paradigm. Mobilize and get back alive.
Grenada, this
is the big one. The countdown has begun for the grand launch of Project Grenada Shifts. Safer, healthier, innovative moves for a transformative society. This mega event takes place on Thursday, 23rd March at Lassages Plainfield, St. David, with a massive health and wellness fair from 12 noon, a wellness walk from 5 p.m. led by Prime Minister the Honorable Deacon Mitchell and Health Minister Senator the Honorable Jonathan Lecret from the St. David Health Center to Lassages Springfield. Fitness drills, health screenings, loads of entertainment and much more, all powered by Wakati Sound System. So register early to get your t-shirts and paraphernalia by contacting the Ministry of Health on telephone 440-2649 extension 21021 or the St. David Health Center at 444-6249. Mark your calendars and join us. Move that body. Take full control of your health and wellness. This event is organized by the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs.
And so it begins, a journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Island Style's annual Easter clearance sale is here, and boy, do we have some exciting deals for you. Massive savings on tiles to be had, with discounts from 10 to 35% off on all tiles, store-wide. Buy all we have in the low stock model and watch your discounts skyrocket with a huge 50% off. Plus, get chip edge tiles for as low as $1. Yes, we're clearing out our old stock to bring in the new. And that's not all. The Easter Bunny has added extra savings on tubs, bathroom vanities, tile tools, and so much more. It won't get any better than this. Jump on these excellent deals and visit our Island Style showroom on Monroe Road in Grandans or call 439-TILE. That's 439-8453. Sale ends Holy Saturday. When you think tile, think Island Style.
Grenada, after 10 years.
Hey, Grenada, this is Pastor Donnie McClurkin, and get this, I am coming to the land of spice.
The multi-award-winning Pastor Donnie McClurkin is back, live at the Grenada National Stadium for one night of praise and worship, where your hearts will be lifted heavenward, joined by some of Grenada's finest gospel talent, Lexton Mitchell, Edson Mitchell, Ajabu, Spice Worship Ministries, McCurl Fletcher Newton and Company, Touch of Grace, and the PBC Choir. Tickets are on sale now, $50, and can be found at all major ticket outlets and at your local churches. Don't miss this unique experience with classic songs like Stand, We Fall Down, Caribbean Medley, Great Is Your Mercy, and many more. Friday, 7th April 2023 at 7 p.m.
I got my mind made up, and I won't turn back, because I want to see my Jesus someday.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners. Let me quickly take a peek at what's happening on our WhatsApp platform. Someone says, the previous government never had any consultation with anybody. They did what they want. They say what they want because there was no opposition, and they also took a raise in salaries. Some people could only see one side. All right. Let me see this one on this. Okay. Good morning, Innocent. This time I tend to believe Dr. Keith. However, the present administration met it and attempt to attend to it. The question is, though, why did the former administration just put it down rather than start the consultation? Hypocrites. All right. Good. Let's look at another one. Mr. Opposition Leader, who was the government in office 13 years ago? Shame on you and your members. Pedro, time to take a good look at yourself and the few that still follow you. All the same, time the people of our nation know the truth. The bill is 13 years old. All right. And this person is just saying, good morning, GBN. All right. Let's see what's happening on our Facebook platform. Likewise, and reminding you that our YouTube channel for the time being is GBN Production and not the regular one that you're accustomed to. All right. Someone here says, all right, Marilyn Gordon says, good morning, Gordon. Good morning, Marilyn. Hannah Penny, that's a brainwashed one. She sound dumb. Okay. Love Child came. Lady, stop it. You're talking very ignorant. Do you ever know what the bill is about? All right. Cynthia says, good morning. Annette Ragbasin says, first of all, because NNP is in opposition, they are scared that the law will take its course. They would be able to spread false propaganda to tarnish people's image. Pass the bill. All right. Marilyn Gordon says the bill is to protect the unprotected. What's the big deal? Everyone needs to know before they broadcast it. Was never known before. The NNP who drafted it allegedly. Ernesto Jose says, good morning, Mr. Guilty. Good morning to you. I don't know whether you're man, woman, or child. All right, but good morning to you. It takes 13 years because NNP have so much things to hide. That's why they have a problem with that bill. The bill is to protect government and others' privacy. All right, let's go to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning to you, Godfrey. I'm in Gordon and your followers.
Welcome.
I am one who believes in consultation because we don't seem to understand what should happen.
You're sounding a bit muffled. I don't know why.
I'm not sure.
That's better.
Better?
Yes.
Because when we go to the lower house, as we had yesterday, these are the parliamentary representatives. They represent the people who elected them. And they should not be in the parliament discussing or debating things that they have not discussed with the representatives, because they're actually acting on their behalf. And that is what's supposed to happen every time. Now, after that stage, it goes to the upper house, where now the business community and the reps in the Senate have a chance, first of all, to discuss it with their constituents or the stakeholders, and then bring the views into the upper house. But has that been happening before? No. We hear it come through, it goes through all three stages, and it's passed. So I believe in consultation. However, that was not happening as far back as we can recall with this former administration. But it shows us, in a sense, the benefit of having opposition. When they were in government with no opposition, they were comatose. They were in a coma. All the things they approved and brought forward and actually played before the House, before they said they suspended it, they're now finding so many faults. Now, outside of the fact that they find it should have been consulted about, they are now finding so many errors that they couldn't see before. So they are working from the coma. And now they're seeing what they like. They don't like it anymore. So it tells us how democracy should work. They couldn't see anything wrong with it before. Now they're in opposition, they're seeing everything. And it's very hypocritical according to most of the earlier contributors. But I believe consultation is the way. For the lower house, you consult with your constituents who elected you before you speak on their behalf. In the Senate, you speak to your stakeholders you represent in the Senate before you come. But it has not been the pattern before, sadly. But it seems as though we want to have it done the right way. But strange, only now. Have a good day.
Okay, and we'll touch base, all right?
Yes, we will.
All right, have a good one. Folks, it's 18 minutes on to the 8 o'clock hour. I hope 8 o'clock workers, you're on the job already. If not, you're very close. Mikey Hutchinson, good morning to you. How are you doing? He says good morning. Hope you and the family are doing fine. We have another caller on the line. Caller, good morning. Hello, good morning. We seem to have lost that caller there. Ernesto Jose says, yesterday I happened to listen to the debate on the bill and I learned that NNP administration was the ones that created the bill, that the supporters was blaming the new administration for. While, I'll continue that conversation. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Joseph.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm quite all right, thank you. Just a couple of observations on this matter related to the bill on data protection. You know, believe you me, I thought this matter was law. All these years, it was raised and then it just disappeared, believe you me. Anyway, it's been placed on the table up for discussion now. I share the sentiments of previous callers, especially the last one, my dear brother. And it demonstrates what is happening today also demonstrates, as somebody previously mentioned, the level of hypocrisy that resides in this here country has permeated the society, especially through the behavior of some of these demagogues that have come to fool the people all throughout the years. These people talking about consultation, where was the consultation throughout the years? Have anybody in this country, has anyone in this here country seen or heard these people consulting with the Grenadian people, presenting white papers for the discussions on any bill over the past 17 years? No, it's not a known thing in this here country. They do. Friday evening they come up with the idea. Monday morning they present the bill to themselves. Friday they get the Senate to rubber stamp it. The same set of people selected by they themselves in this level of hypocrisy known as the so-called parliamentary representation. Hypocrisy. But listen, Grenadians, this bill has to go through, and it has to go through as soon as possible, because there's something, a clause I was expecting to hear in this discussion. I didn't hear it, and Grenadians have to understand the protection of your data. You see, all these apps that we sign up to, and we give Mr. Google and Mr. Facebook and all them kind of information, that is the information that we have to protect. Your data, your personal data, including your medical records. Watch out, the NHI is one that they're debating to put in the hands of foreign companies. But you know the significant clause here. Should I say our? Thank God I have very much. Listen, our personal data, including our medical records, are being monetized. In other words, people accumulate this data and they sell it from one grouping to another and they make money on it. They enrich themselves. This is why your data has to be protected, brothers and sisters. This thing is way beyond. I mean, it should have happened years ago. Let's get it on, Mr. President. Let's get it on once and for all and stop this pussyfooting and hypocrisy in this here country. Thank you very much, Mr. Joseph. Have a nice day, will you?
Have a good one yourself, citizen. Have a good one. 14 minutes on to 8 o'clock. And let me quickly see what's happening on our Facebook page. I want to continue with Ernesto's comment. Okay, yesterday I happened to listen to the debate on the bill, and I learned that NNP administration were the ones that created the bill, that the supporters was blaming the new administration for, while the creators of the bill pretending they knew nothing about the bill until they were exposed by the PM Deacon Mitchell. Last Sunday there was a 4 hours program on a certain radio station mocking the administration about the bill. Now they have to put their feet in their mouth, knowing that it was their party they're defending that were the ones behind that blindsided them about the bill they created. Michael Hutchinson says, despite all, it was refreshing to see real debate taking place. It's very healthy for us. I couldn't agree more. All right, Marvin Nelson says, consultation. Did the NNP consult anyone when they passed the bill to give themselves pension? Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
How are
I
you?
want to say well done to the Prime Minister yesterday and the opposition leader. They was asking a simple question what they know already, and they was there how much years, and they never had concentration. Now they want to apply pressure. They have to understand Grenadian belongs to all of us and stop them think what they're going on with. It's not that they know, but they're just only pretending. All right then, have a blessed morning.
You too, my dear. Have a good one yourself, okay? 12 minutes on to 8 o'clock. Let me see what's happening on our WhatsApp platform. You know, I gotta touch base with everybody, you know. All right. Someone says the amount of time spent yesterday on the bill was nothing more than hear me, hear me, hear me. They should have spent the time wasted yesterday deciding how to move forward instead of beating on their chests. One of your callers said Grenada does not need digital protection. That would be very dangerous. Government, get the job done. With an exclamation mark to it. All right, let's go to the telephone line. Good morning, caller. Hello, good morning.
Mr. Innocent, good morning, and how are you?
I am fine, and how are you?
I am fine. Mr. Innocent, I don't understand why the opposition have to get on like that. Apparently, Keith Mitchell and Emmeline Pierre came for combat. They came for fight yesterday. They knew all along what was going on. They put the bill together. They knew everything about it. But you know what is their problem? They're not in the driver's seat anymore, and that is bothering them. Don't blame Deacon Mitchell for that. Blame the people of Grenada. We voted the NDC into office because we were fed up, totally fed up with the NNP. And he came yesterday. He had to open his own card, or he had to come up with his own little briefcase, that famous briefcase, and that bothering him. So they want to fight, but that would not happen in our parliament. We are a decent people, and we are guided by some very decent gentlemen and women in the NDC administration. Let them go home and rest now. Let the NNP go home and rest. It is time. And Emmeline Pierre should be ashamed. Shut up, Emmeline.
Caller, thank you, but oh my goodness. In any case, 10 minutes on to 8 o'clock. We take our final commercial break in the segment, and we'll be back for the wrap.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via Superb Service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibbin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Shop at Southern Electrical for all your security camera needs. We offer a wide variety of cameras such as solar cameras with or without light, 4G cameras, Wi-Fi and PoE kits, 4, 8, and 16 channel, replacement cameras for PoE, standalone Wi-Fi cameras, floodlights with cameras, watch cameras, pen cameras, and much more. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grandin, St. George. Let us help you with your security needs. Southern Electrical, best value, expert advice, quality products.
CEF is for me and you. Beyond COVID, CEF is for me and you. Caribbean Economic Forum. Beyond COVID, CEF is for me and you. Caribbean Economic Forum. Log on, tune in, and join the conversations and engage with the experts. Help to find common solutions for common problems during this COVID situation. We fight it to protect our livelihood across the nation. This is for we to learn, share ideas and concerns, live life like we did. must change we mindset fast. Build strong economies, closer societies. We all have a duty. CEF is for me and you. Beyond COVID, CEF is for me and you. Caribbean Economic Forum.
Health, are you ready? Good. At the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, we have prioritized as well as branded the year 2023 as the year of mental health and wellness. So we are extremely excited about it. Staff is excited about it. So thank you very much. Let's rock.
Shift the paradigm, mobilize and get back
Grenada, this is the big one. The countdown has begun for the grand launch of Project Grenada Shifts. Safer, healthier, innovative moves for a transformative society. This mega event takes place on Thursday, 23rd March at Lassages Playing Field, St. David, with a massive health and wellness fair from 12 noon, a wellness walk from 5 p.m. led by Prime Minister the Honorable Deacon Mitchell and Health Minister Senator the Honorable Jonathan Lecret from the St. David Health Center to Lassages Springfield. Fitness drills, health screenings, loads of entertainment, and much more, all powered by Wakati Sound System. So register early to get your t-shirts and paraphernalia by contacting the Ministry of Health on telephone 440-2649, extension 21021, or the St. David Health Center at 444-6249. Mark your calendars and join us. Move that body. Take full control of your health and wellness. This event is organized by the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs.
Step up, that's the shift.
All right, welcome back, viewers and listeners, and I've got this to run to you. Please be advised that all branches of the Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited will be closed from 1 p.m. On Thursday, the 16th of March. That's tomorrow. Now, this is necessary to allow staff members to attend the Coop Bank National Primary School Games. The Coop Bank apologizes for any inconvenience caused because of the closure, but also remind you that the Connex ATMs and e-banking services are available to serve you. Regular business hours resumes on Friday. Don't you forget that. So please be guided accordingly. And it's 5 minutes onto it. Let's get back to the final segment of the program. Good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning, Innocent.
How you do?
I did, boy.
Nice.
Let's bring it on, man. It's time. 14 years is like you have a nice little young girl, only have a slippers in she foot for 14 years. A young boy come now and buy a little shoes and put in she foot. Ready to pass the bill. All of them. So, Innocent, this is let them hate what they like. That is why you see children coming out to school now. And they can read. Because if you live 14 years to educate your people today now, the bill ready to pass after 14 years, you want the to waste time now to educate our people. What's wrong with these people? Innocent, listen, I want to sound like my past Prime Minister now. For a government that has 16 seats and come and in the opposition today, that must be a stupid government. That sound like him, eh?
I know who you're talking about.
Many of us today don't want to be on the stupid side of the government. We want to be on the right side now with the Honorable Deacon Mitchell. Dr. Kit Mitchell tell us that you plainly don't know. He tell us our government to have all this and come and lose. These are stupid government that doesn't forget things, you know. Have a good morning, sweetheart.
You too, right? all you like to think, all you like. Shatta Ricky must be turning in the grave now. All right, Shauna Coffey says, I love Citizen Rolo. You are an iconic Grenadian. All right. Love Child Kim says, he's very informative. Okay. Ernesto Jose, he says this. Yesterday I was impressed by Pedro, who shows leadership of the NNP, who is in opposition, especially when it comes to the legal side of the argument, where Dr. Keith Mitchell had to sit and listen. Peter and PM Deacon Mitchell, who were the legal minds in the room, debate. I think Peter should be the one leading the opposition party because of his leadership quality he's shown yesterday. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller. Hello.
Hey, morning, sir.
Morning. Welcome to the program.
How are you doing? Dabrio here. Well, I've been listening, to the program and to people's utterances on the bill, and I am yet to see how the Electronic Crimes Act, the Interception of Communication Act, or the Data Protection Bill, how it muzzles me. I don't see how it does that. I don't see how it stopped me from being a netizen. Once what I'm doing is responsible. And I think that is what is needed at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what the story is. Once you can back it up, once your facts are straight, you shouldn't have a problem. You interfere, you handle people's data, their information, what have you, you must protect it. And if you don't, then there should be things that, protect us from these bodies that are responsible. So if anybody can show me how the Data Protection Bill muzzles me or shuts me up, please give me a call. 414-7297. 414-7297. Call me, let me talk about it. Show me how it shuts me up, because I can't see it. And I am one who is big on cyber privacy, cyber security. So call me and let's talk about it.
Okay. All right, partners.
All right, man.
Mr. Dabrio. All right, folks, it's time to wind down the program this morning. But before we go, Alison Cox Osplon says, Mr. Rollo is speaking the truth, because I never could understand why Grenada could put so much children pictures and other personal information, and parents allowing their children pictures on Facebook without protection. Yeah, that bothers me too. All right, Sylvina Charles says, good morning, Innocent. Have a blessed day, everyone, and drive safe, drivers. Mary E. Banks says, the bill was put forward many years ago, but nothing was done to put it forward. Now it's necessary more than for it to be made a law. Coylan Nash, good morning, Grenada. Yellow and more yellow, we see. All right. Check your kidneys, partners. Yeah, check and see if everything all right, because it's yellow. Yeah, that is looking like jaundice. Before I wrap up, I want to say good morning to the commissioner and the staff of His Majesty's Prison. Good morning to you, and good morning to all your residents there. My brother from another mother, Davis Galston, and all the folks, Kellon and Mr. What's his name again, boy? Godfrey Simeon. Good morning to all of you. You know, it's a reformation process, so enjoy your time, man. Good, folks, this is where we've got to wrap it up for today. Those of you who participated, thank you very much for your participation. Finally, good morning. That's on WhatsApp, okay? I had to revisit this. The bill the lady talking about is the one she got after shipping. Please forgive her. She is human. That one is for Grenada. Okay. All right, folks. Thank you for participating in the program this morning. And Glenda Thompson says, good morning, my namesake. All right, good morning, Glenda. If the good Lord spare our lives, we'll have another program tomorrow. But it's time for us to wrap up. Have a good one, everyone. Love you. Bye-bye.